I finished reading The Story of the Lost Child, marking the end of the Neapolitan Quartet. This is the crux of trying to film reviews on here. How do you get into the nuance of a story like this in under 2 minutes without giving anything away? I'll try, but this was everything I could have ever wanted. In a previous video, I mentioned how I thought this would have a 4-act structure, meaning part 2 would be the rising action, 3 would be the climax, and this would be the falling action, but it wasn't. If anything, it felt like books 2, 3, and half of 4 were rising action up to the climax. The climax, or the turning point in book 4, is why it's called The Story of the Lost Child, and it was probably the most horrendous thing that happened in the entire quartet. There are 2 events that really stood out to me, and there was one revelation that I had. First one was losing yourself and your mind to infidelity. It's having your safety and autonomy taken away from you. It's something that you cannot control in your own life, and it leaves you with such a deep sense of betrayal. And 2, losing someone abruptly will do the exact same thing. Losing someone will also strip you of your safety. You'll feel a deep sense of injustice and like you've been singled out. And just like with betrayal, it can cause you to be a little bit delirious. A lot of what happens in book 4 really reminded me of The Scarf Model by David Rock. Everyone and their mom's psychological safety gets rocked in book 4. And I feel like it happened throughout the entire story, but I feel like book 4 was really magnified. I guess my revelation was that in this entire thing of psychological unsafety and unrest, Leela and Elena always had an anchor point, and it was each other. And I think I saw that magic in the beginning and in the end of the story with the dolls Tina and Nu. Those dolls symbolize not only the initial bond, but also the severance of the friendship. Both of them, even in times where they sort of separated from each other, were still like this and were leading parallel lives in one way or another. Even when they'd pull away from each other, there was like magnets pulling them back together, even down to their moms, like names being passed on to their kids. So having Tina and Nu, the dolls, appear, then disappear, and then reappear when Leela disappears is really poetic. I'd love to do a full review of the quartet because then I could kind of compile all my thoughts into one long video, and it's something I might do on YouTube. For now, book 4 was amazing, and if The Story of the Lost Child by Elena Ferrante was a song, I think it would be Asleep by Emily Browning. Bye!